Hello, I'm Debbie, for those who haven't met me. We're going to go through a pretty simple and short yoga practice today that will just help you to connect with the breath and get some movement happening in the body. So we'll start right away. Take a comfortable seat, sitting on a block or sitting on the floor, and let the eyes close down, or if you prefer, just let the upper lid soften down gently so you've got a soft gaze at the floor. And take a moment to align the crown of the head with the tailbone, as if you're just lifting up through the back of the skull. Start to notice how you're feeling today. So just notice your breath as it is naturally without changing a thing. And then start to draw your breath in a little deeper. And as you draw the breath in deeper, fill up the lungs and fill up the lower belly. There's a natural pause at the bottom of the breath, so hold that. And as you exhale, breathing out. Let's take a couple more rounds like that at your own pace. Notice where you can soften the shoulders, the hips as you do this. And when you're ready, just bringing your hands together, palm to palm in front of your heart, and interlace your fingers and push the heels of the hands away from you. So as you do that, feel yourself lengthening through the triceps, you're round through the back body, and breathe into the space behind the shoulder blades. And as you start to roll the hips forward, reach your arms up towards the sky, push down through the sit bones, lift up through the heels of the hands. And as you release your hands, take your right hand down to the side, lift up with the left arm, and get a lovely side opener. And you can spin the ribs up towards the sky and take a big circle with that top arm. Either direction is all good. Inhaling up and exhaling, lowering down. You can get some softness into the shoulder you're leaning into as well. And then when you're ready, taking that in the opposite direction. And just notice how your shoulders feel today. If they're a little tight, if they're a little sore. If you hit restrictions on the way, don't force it, just take it around its natural range of movement, and then push the ground away, lifting up, palms connect, and bring your hands to your heart. Taking one finger along, push the heels of the hands away from you, chin to chest, rounding through the spine. Take the palms a little more towards the ground, really open the shoulders. And then as you roll down or forward with the hips, lift the palms to the sky, lift up through the sideways, push down through the sit bones. And as you release your hands, starting to lift up with this long arm to the sky and take a side stretch here. And as you do, you can feel yourself breathing into these ribs, into the intercostal muscles as you stretch them, and then find that movement that feels really good for you. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Either direction. But when you're ready, taking it in the other direction. And eventually pushing the ground away, palms connect, bringing the hands to the heart. And let the fingertips touch the forehead. Let the forehead touch the fingertips and feel the pressure of the finger pads between the eyebrows. Breathing deep in here. Letting the fingers press down on the vagus nerve, calming the nervous system. And when you're ready, releasing your hands and lifting your head up. And we'll come into a child's pose. So from here, big toes touch, knees slightly apart, and let yourself rest downwards. So as you do, you can let the forehead touch on the floor and feel yourself breathing into the back of the shoulder blades, into the back of the ribs. You can stretch through the hands. Couple of deep breaths here. And then as you start to prepare your hands for down face dog, spread the webbing of your fingers, push through the thumb and the index finger, starting to lift up and tuck your toes. You might want to come up with soft knees and start to walk your legs out, bending one knee, bending the other knee, just really getting into the back of the calves and the hamstrings, the Achilles tendon. And then continue that walking, but actually physically walk nice and slowly to the front of the mat so that your feet are as wide as the hips, and you're folding forward in an Utkatasana, deep forward fold. You can let one thumb hook into the opposite elbow crease, other thumb into the other elbow crease, and let the head be heavy here. So as you release, just be mindful that you're not kind of hanging like this and rounding through the back. You want the lower ribs to connect with your thighs. Let the head be heavy. You can give it a shake, forwards, backwards, have a little sway, get a bit of looseness around the hips. And then when you're ready, releasing your hands, either fingertips to the floor and open the heart, or hands to your shins and open the heart. Try to lengthen your spine so the tailbone goes back, the heart goes forward, and then releasing down. As you push through the feet, inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up and bringing your hands to prayer in front of your heart. And find your mountain pose, so big toes touch, heels slightly apart, bringing your hands palm to palm in front of the heart. And imagine a little antennae lifting the crown of the head upwards, the feet planting firmly into the ground. As you inhale, lowering the hands and reaching the arms up, palms connect, exhale, hands to your heart. Let's do that 2 more times, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, this time as your palms connect, hinge at the hips into your deep forward fold. Find your half lift, exhale down, step your right leg back and come into a low lunge. And inhale, sweep your arms up, and then interlace your fingers, push the heels of the hands to the sky, and start to open to the side. So as you do that, you can feel yourself elongating through this back hip flexor. Coming back to the center, lowering your hands to the floor, step back into down face dog. And as you lift your heels, roll forward, find a plank. So make your plank really strong, push down through the arms, push the heels back, lead with the heart, and then bring your knees to the ground, start to lower all the way down onto the front body. We'll take a Sphinx pose today, so forearms on the floor, elbows just in front of your shoulders, and open your heart here. So this is a really good immune booster, which is of course very good at the moment. So feel yourself softening the heart, letting the hips be heavy, breathing deep into that heart space, and then starting to release all the way down. We'll prepare for Cobra, Bhujangasana, so the hands hover just outside the chest, push your feet to the floor, lift your chest up. So just check with your feet that the toes are pointing, that you're pushing the little toenail into the ground. Then start to push the ground away. Open up here. You can take a little sideways movement, just like you're trying to shake a branch on a tree. It's side to side. Check it's not too strong on your spine. Soft shoulders, easy breath. Starting to release. And when you're ready, push the ground away and lifting yourself back up into down face dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. From here, get you to lift your left leg, 3-legged dog, and step your left foot to your left thumb. We'll come up in a high lunge this time. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Find a small back bend. Lift the heart up towards the sky. And as you bring your hands to the ground, right palm under the right shoulder, either left hand to your left hip, or you can peel that arm up. Feel yourself getting a back bend today, like you're trying to catch a cricket ball with this top arm. So once again, nice immune booster as you open the chest. Lowering your hand down and stepping to the front of the mat. Deep forward fold, finding your half lift. Exhale, inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up, bringing your hands to prayer. So once again, you're at the front of the mat, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Feel the collarbones broad. Find a steady, even breath. Inhaling, reaching the arms up. Exhale, hinging, deep forward fold. Inhale, find your half lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Bring your left knee to the floor. Inhale, sweeping your arms up. You can interlace the hands, push the heels of the hands to the sky, take a side opener. So you open that left hip flexor. Try to stay long through the heel of the left hand. All the way back to the center, hands to the floor, lift your back knee, step back, down face dog. As your heels lift, roll forward, find plank. So in your plank, check the hips aren't sinking or too high. You want them to be nice and strong. You can bring your knees to the floor, or if you feel strong, lower down through the full plank, Chaturanga Dandasana, and then release down. Take either a cobra, or if you're familiar with it, you can take an up dog. The hands are slightly lower. You push your feet to the floor. Shins lift, thighs lift. Try to pull your chest through the biceps, and you might find you can roll straight back into your down face dog. I'll realign myself. Now just give yourself a moment in your down face dog. Feel the length of the spine. Feel the heels sinking down to the ground. Try to lift the sit bones. Take the thigh bones back in space. Lift up through the arms. Right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Bring your right foot to your right thumb, and if you can't move it smoothly, give it a bit of a helping hand. Push your feet into the ground, back knee on the floor if you feel wobbly, but otherwise opening up through the heart. As you lower the hands to the floor, left hand on the ground, inhale, sweep that right arm up. Exhale, lowering your hands down, step to the front of the mat, deep forward fold. Once again, find your half lift. Exhale down. Now this time, get a nice deep bend in your knees. I'll come to the front of the mat. Fingertips to the floor. I'm going to sweep up into Utkatasana, chair pose. So sweeping your arms up. Bring your hands to your heart. Then bring your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Now check this doesn't happen, that the right knee follows. Try to tack this right hip back. Twist through the belly, thumb to your heart. Breathing deep, all the way back to the center, and let yourself release. You can lengthen the back of the legs. Inhale, find your half lift. Exhale down. Bending your knees, sweeping the arms up, sinking deep, hands to prayer. Twist the other way, hook the elbow, hook the belly round, pull your thumb to your heart, collarbones broad. All the way back to the center, fingertips to the floor. Take a moment here to get long through the crown of the head. You can bring the hands to the back of the calf so you feel yourself like you're trying to pull your chest to your thighs. And then once again, bend your knees, sweeping the arms up, and then start to lift all the way up into a standing balance, right onto your toe tips, heels squeezed together. Hands to your heart. Let's have a couple of breaths here. Soft, steady breath. And we'll take a twist. We'll take a balance. Take your weight onto your left foot and be at the front of your mat, and bring the right leg up. Right hand to your right hip. Left hand to your outer right knee. You do have the choice here, if you like, to hold the foot and take the leg long. Arm reaches back, but for most of you, you'll just be like this with the leg bent. Starting to come all the way back to the center, starting to take this leg back as if you're going into a warrior three. The leg goes back, human capital T with your body, then lower the toes down. Inhale, sweeping up with the arms, bringing the hands to prayer, and then take your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Now if you feel wobbly, lower that back knee to the floor. You can open your arms if you like, bring the palms back to connect, fingertips to the floor, step to the front of the mat, deep forward fold, find your half lift, exhale down, sweeping the arms up, hands to prayer. And we'll do that on the other side. So weight transfers to the right foot, lifting the left leg. So option one, left hand out to left hip, right hand out to left knee, twist and open the arm. Otherwise, right hand holds onto the little toe of the left foot and the leg goes long. As you come back, hands to prayer, starting to step that foot back and starting to reach up. And from here, we'll take it into, can't remember where we went after this, taking it into warrior three, and starting to bring that leg all the way back through. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart, and take a few moments to breathe. You can change that final pose that I forgot at the end, please do. We'll come back down onto the ground. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hinging at the hips, deep forward fold. Inhale, find your half lift. Exhale, walking or jumping back into down face dog, rolling forward to plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, or knees to the floor, taking an up dog or a cobra, all the way back into down face dog, and then bringing your knees to the ground, forehead to the floor, and find your child's pose. Take a few rounds of breath here, breathing into the back body. And feel yourself grounding down. Feel the earth and the security of the earth underneath you. Feel the breath moving into the space at the back of the heart and the back of the kidneys. And when you're ready, we'll start to roll onto our back body. You can bring your toes or the soles of your feet to the floor. If you have a block, you can use a book, or you can just imagine there's a block there. Just squeeze the soles of the feet flat on the ground. Just bring your hands onto your ribs for a moment and feel the breath. Feel how your ribs expand. And then when you're ready, placing the palms to the floor. You can keep the block squeezed. Obviously, if you don't have one, don't use one. But as you push your feet to the floor, start to lift up. And as you lift, push through the heels of the feet to lift the pubic bone up towards the sky, engaging the glutes, engaging the back body. If you like, you can interlace your hands so the knuckles push to the floor, shoulder blades pull together. Feel like you're lengthening the knees forward, the sit bones up, the chest towards the chin, and then as your hands release, slowly, slowly lowering yourself all the way down. We'll do that one more time. Push down through the feet, lifting up through the hips. Now you can take the palms on the floor, hands interlaced, or pop up onto your toe tips and take your right hand underneath your hip, take the left hand underneath your hip, then let the heels descend down. Have a couple of breaths like this. And when you're ready, one vertebrae at a time, slowly, slowly let them touch down and pull your thighs into your belly. Have a hug, have a rock, massage the back on the floor. And then take your arms out wide, palms down to the ground, tuck your shoulders underneath. Feel like you're trying to squeeze something in between your knees. Inhale deeply. As you exhale, take your knees towards the right armpit, but don't let them touch the floor. Try to get this left hip crease away from your left armpit. Keep that left shoulder grounded. Inhale to the center. Exhale, taking that the other way. So bringing your knees towards your left armpit, right shoulder descends. Inhale up. Do that one more time either side. Exhaling, maybe going a little deeper. Feel the abdominals engaging. Inhale to the center. Exhale, the other side. Feel the engagement of the abdominals. Inhale to the center. Exhale, this time going all the way down, and let the legs stack. Now you can bring your right hand on top of your thigh and let it be heavy. You can let the gaze travel along that left arm. Only if it feels easy for you and you can take that foot, but don't force it, otherwise just keep the legs bent. And take a few rounds of breath here. Now imagine you're just breathing in through the left nostril and you're infusing that left lung with breath. Just a few rounds. And then bringing the right palm to the ground, bending your knee if that left leg's still long, inhaling to the center. Realign yourself if you need to, and then exhaling to the other side. Right shoulder stays grounded. Gaze along that right arm. Couple of breaths here. And as you do, consciously breathe in through your right nostril. Infuse this right lung. You can take your left hand on top of the right knee, or once again lengthen the leg if you like. But give yourself this time to feel that you're releasing down with gravity, that you're feeling that the muscles are letting go, that the bones are becoming heavier. Once again, bending that leg in if you had it extended, lifting up. Pull your thighs in, have a little rock side to side. And then bring the soles of your feet together. You can hold them like a little prayer book and start to pull the heels of the feet downwards. Now as you do, imagine you're trying to pull your toes towards your heart. Take your knees forward and wider, shoulders to the hip here. And then start to release your feet and let the little toe side of your feet touch the floor. You can bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. If you like, if your legs are high, you may like to pop blocks underneath your thighs, or books if you don't have blocks at home. But really feel the breath, feel the texture of the breath, feel the depth of the breath. Let the brainstem just draw gently away from the tailbone. Let the shoulders roll down. And give yourself this time to really start to soften. And then when you're ready, taking both legs long, palms turn up. If that gives you any discomfort in the lower back, you can take your feet as wide as the mat and let the knees just touch together. But otherwise, take Shavasana, a lovely resting pose where you can feel the bones becoming heavier, the heels striking the floor. As you do this, just become really comfortable. Feel the softness of the muscles of your face starting to relax. Feel the tongue resting on the lower palate. Feel the eyebrows broadening and widening out. The cheeks softening, the inner ears softening. And all of the craziness that's going on around us, just let that go. Know that you can always retreat to this place of quietness, of stillness. And give yourself this time to be fully held by the ground underneath you. And feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Namaste.